Oh, let me give you the card.
Okay. So you're saying God called you to
Walk coast to coast, promoting a new birth of freedom and integrity,
okay.
calling attention to the Ten Commandments, the Golden Rule, and our nation's founding documents.
Okay.
He gave me a scripture for the basis of the walk, and that was 2 Chronicles 7:14, which you find the reference on our card.
Uh-huh.
And he basically told me that he wanted to bless America, but that America needed to answer the conditions of his promise.
Okay.
And as long as we continue to murder little children in mothers' bellies,
Mm-hmm.
and deny them the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, he was going to withhold his blessing.
Okay.
And he said that he wanted to be invited back into American public life, that he had been ejected from the stadium, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
And he, you know, and what I understood was that he should be the head coach, but he's ejected from the stadium. You know, and I personally, I'm not trying to, I'm doing this non-sectarian. I'm not trying to promote any church, or I guess I would have to admit that I'm promoting Christianity because I'm a pastor, but but I'm not promoting Christianity at the expense of everybody else's religion.
Right.
I think the Ten Commandments are accepted by most all, if not all, religions in America. At least the principles of those things. The Golden Rule is something that every religion pretty much, teaches.
Uh-huh.
And our nation's founding documents should be something everybody would stand behind, because if you're going to be a citizen of this country, you should defend the Constitution and our Bill of Rights. I'm a Vietnam War veteran, and let me back the tape up a little bit, because when God called me, I argued with him. He actually woke me up at midnight 3 nights in a row. And the first 2 nights I argued, saying, very pragmatically, I'm an old man, I was 66 at the time, now I'm 68. Second oldest man to walk across America. But anyway, I argued with him, saying that there should be an athlete or some young person, some young Christian person that can carry this baton, and do the job better than me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 2 nights of arguing didn't work, and the third night he said, I'm serious about this. And so I realized that, third time can be a charm, in a wrong way, a negative charm. So I just submitted. I just kind of humbled myself and submitted and said, I don't know how to do this. I have no clue how to do this. That's a long walk, over 3,000 miles. And I don't even like to walk, period. So God said, my grace is sufficient. I'll help you through it. So that gets the ball rolling. So I had to plan it, because I was fearful of, just going out there and walking. I wanted to have everything packaged real nicely, computerized. And I wanted to see my route. I actually pre-traced my route.
Okay.
I think I actually came by your place. I left a card. And I wanted to see every road. I wanted to see what the challenges were, how much shoulder, I'm going to have, or how many bridges I'm going to have to cross, all of that stuff. So I finally got that accomplished. It took about a year or more. and I had to get my wife back from Uganda because we're missionaries to Uganda. She was in Uganda, and I was due to go back to Uganda. I was just here temporarily, and here God's assigned me this mission, and I'm wondering if Barbara's going to come back and be my support person.
Okay.
And so she agreed. She had never heard of a Walk Across America before.
Uh-huh.
Neither of us had seen that movie, Forrest Gump, and
Okay. Was that part of the inspiration or part of the...
no, actually, that's the fact that I didn't even know about Forrest Gump. And then after I told this friend of mine that I was walking across America, he says, well, you're not the first. There's a lot of people. You can go to Wikipedia. In fact, there's a movie about a guy.
Yeah?
And then I watched the movie Forrest Gump, and I said, okay, I got one thing in common with him. I'm not a smart man, but I know what
Right.
love is.
Uh-huh.
And so Barbara came back, and we started doing the final planning. But the problem, before she got back, the problem was that I bought this old station wagon in California when I was out there on a salvage title. We don't have much money, so I found it for $2,500, and it didn't look very well. And so I said, I need to graphics wrap this car. This is a sham. This thing won't fly.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have a class act here. So the church agreed to help me pay for it, and it cost more than the car.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we've got a car and a graphics wrap, but I'm just going to camp out in the car. I'm just fool enough to take my wife, jam her in the back of the station wagon to sleep at night, and God wakes me up and says, wait a minute, your wife needs something better than the car.
Mm-hmm.
And I says, I'm a poor man. What am I going to get my wife? He says, get a motorhome. And I said, oh, yeah, right. This is like walking across America. You're trying to extend me to the max here, God. He says, you can find a motorhome. I'll get you one. So we did. We got a motorhome. And he says, you're going to tow the car behind the motorhome. Okay. So we got everything. My wife and I got everything planned. She got back. It took us a lot of weeks because we still had some route to trace physically. So we finally got to Kill Devil Hills, where the thing starts.
That's where the Wright brothers
Yes,
came.
yes, it has historical significance. And the mayor of Kill Devil Hills was very interested in why I was starting there, and I told her. And I also told her, as a pastor, I like the Kill Devil part. But anyway, she thought that was funny. By the way, I meet with mayors in every town that I can who will meet with me to wish the community God's best, to encourage the city to be considering these principles of the Constitution and keep them in mind, and just raise awareness to these things. And also I give a memento of the walk, because there's two parts of the walk I found out are historic.
Okay.
I'm the second oldest man in history to walk coast to coast, and I'm the first veteran to hand carry the American flag from coast to coast.
Okay.
I'm a Vietnam War veteran, and I don't know if God chose me because I'm a veteran, but it seems like it's probably true, because today veterans are getting a lot of notice. They're in the news a lot, and people are starting to support veterans better than ever before. And so carrying the flag and being a veteran has raised a lot of attention and media for me. And then when they find out I'm a pastor, it just sort of adds a little frosting to the cake.
Okay.
So, anyway, we couldn't start March 1st as we had intended because the winter in North Carolina held on.
Right.
So we got started April 23rd on our 19th wedding anniversary.
Started April 23rd.
Right,
Okay.
on our 19th wedding anniversary. And we started with a kiss and a prayer. And I found out quite quickly that I was not in physical condition for such a daunting thing.
Okay.
I made it 15 miles the first day, and the second day I could hardly get out of bed.
Okay.
But I did walk 7.5 miles because God told me He wanted me to walk and not stay in bed all day.
Okay.
So I've been averaging about 14 or 15 miles a day now. My highest day was just yesterday, wasn't it, Brian?
Yes. 17.
17.8 miles yesterday was the greatest number of miles I've walked.
And that was in the rain, because it was raining pretty bad.
I missed the rain.
Really?
I actually missed the rain. It was an ideal walking day.
Okay.
It was easier than today. Today was ideal until I got into this wind, and this wind has been a real bugger. But I've only been rained out one day, and today is day number 107
Okay.
of the walk. I'll be going through Muskogee on day 108. I'm taking Saturday and Sundays off.
Okay.
I always take Saturdays and Sundays off.
Okay.
Once in a while I take an extra day.
Okay.
At my age, this is difficult for me. I'm in pain every day. My feet hurt every day. My legs hurt every day. Well, I say every. There are some exceptions. Once in a great while, I'll have a shoe combination that works really good and I don't suffer.
Wow.
But usually after about 10 or 11 miles, I suffer. Now today's been a light day. I did well the first 8 miles. I changed shoes, and I'm just now starting to have a little foot pain. And I've got 1 mile. I only have 1 mile to go. I've walked over 14 miles. So today's going to be a good one. One of the best.
Okay. Where do you spend the nights?
Okay, we have that RV, right? So we park the RV at churches who will accommodate us with a power plug. And so far we've had 21 different locations. We call them safe stations. We've had 2 campgrounds who have accommodated us with reduced prices. And I do mean deep, deep reduced prices.
Okay.
And the others have been churches that were free, gratis.
Okay.
And they're every 100 or 120 miles. And that's been really, really nice.
Okay. I bet you've met a lot of people on the way.
Hundreds. The best people in the world, evidently. Now, a lot of them just love veterans, and others just love the flag, and others love Christians.
Okay.
And I just sort of fit the mold, And some of them just love old men. Like a lot of young people have taken an interest in me. There was just a girl in Van Buren. Her mother posted on Facebook yesterday. She said, my daughter was concerned for Pastor McGill because she was afraid he would be walking in that rain storm. And she was concerned for his safety. And she put that on Facebook, and I was like, wow. Her name is Faith. That's kind of neat. But, there's that kind of thing. I've had young people have their parents stop their vehicle, turn around, come back and say, I want to meet this man. I want to shake hands with a good man. And stuff like that, it's just very encouraging.
Okay.
For young people for our young people today are in a challenging society. And I advocate family very strongly. I teach that family is the building block of the nation. And that if we could get back to God and get back to the Ten Commandments and the Golden Rule and our nation's founding documents and get our families in tune with these principles and get the children and the parents communicating, spending more time together, quality time, like family meetings. Tell me about your problems, this kind of thing. Counseling sort of like that. If we could get the family units strengthened, I think our nation could get turned around.
Okay.
I don't think changing politicians is going to do anything. I think it has to start on the family level, the community level, grassroots, and then just expand into the national scene. Because, you know, politicians are professional dancers.
Right.
You can publish that if you want. They'll dance to whatever music's playing.
Oh, yeah.
And so this brings in the analogy that I use. People say, Pastor, you're preaching to the choir. You've been in the Bible Belt the whole way. You're preaching to the choir. Of course, I'm about to get out of it after Tulsa, probably. But anyway, I said, okay, I'm preaching to the choir, but there's 3 things wrong with the choir. First, some have lost their voices. Secondly, some have forgotten the song. And thirdly, the others don't come to choir practice. So we have a condition where I need to preach to the choir.
Yeah.
Because the choir's not singing. When the choir starts singing that beautiful music, politicians are going to dance to it.
You bet.
And so somebody's singing a song that they're dancing to, and we're sitting back letting them do it, when we should be singing a louder song. So I'm trying to encourage the Christian community to get together, lock arms together. Let's put these denominational barriers aside for a while, and let's reclaim our country.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Where is your ending point?
In Buenos, California.
Where?
Santa Monica.
Okay.
Santa Monica Pier in
Oh,
California.
wow. Looks like you're going to hit Route 66.
That's it.
You're going to go on Route... Okay.
You know, we got the hat even, you know, here Oklahoma and in the Route 66. We're going to pick it up out there. I'm not sure what the town is
Probably
right now.
Tulsa or Sapulpa.
Yeah, Sapulpa, I think, is it. Because I just changed the route recently
Okay.
to make it a little bit more simple. But,
Okay. Gosh. Okay. What did you do in Vietnam? Did you serve?
I was an Air Force communications navigation technician.
Okay.
I spent 2.5 years in that theater. I did not do camp combat. And I was not a hero. I didn't get any medals.
Okay.
I just served
Great.
that time.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time. I've got your card.